Yeah. Okay, guys. I was just giving you some time to basically uh, everybody join, right? I didn't really start yet. I was just moving my stuff around. But essentially, what I'm looking at is the SPY. I think what's really happening now is markets really want to basically back test levels, right? That's why I was moving this around right here. So I think what might be happening is essentially price could be back testing these levels right here. And that could be anywhere from maybe 563, 562, 560, 5, like anywhere, right? And it's very healthy for markets to backtest levels because it's part of the cooling off period before prices go higher. So basically, what's really happening now is just that consolidation time. So SPY looks great. No worries, it's 100% bullish. And whether or not it backtests the level, it still is very bullish for the future. And next is QQQ. We're going to look at this really quickly. And QQQ is looking pretty good too still, right? And I think I'm not sure if it's necessary to come back down to the baseline or the conversion line down there, like 458. But what I think is necessary is to find a new higher low somewhere, maybe around here. Could be where this previous candle was to, maybe in like the 470s, maybe 469 or something. But it's still really, really bullish too. But it still has not made a higher high yet. So what it's really looking like is just still building enough energy to break through this high here around 503.52. So just more consolidation too, and wherever this will stop, no matter what, it's still going to be a bullish situation because this chart looks fantastic. And IWM, I do have some fibs pulled up here from the all-time high down to the most recent low here. And I'm looking at price trying to hold this 7.1, or I can just change it to the 7.02 because that's technically what it is, right? 7.02. It's technically the halfway point in between there, between the 7.86 and the 6.18. I just had the 7.1 because I rounded up. But to be exact, it's still holding that support perfectly. So that is 216.13. So therefore, I'm expecting this level to hold. And I think this is already the breakout and the back test that we're looking for things to go higher. So basically, we're just, it's in a waiting period. And I think this is a great zone to, if you're not in it, maybe start to accumulate, because this is looking like it really wants to hold support. Like, how many candles in a row? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 candles in a row have closed above that 7.02. So I think that is a very important thing to look at. And once price does find its base around there, I think it's going to go finally break through all of this resistance above and go much higher. So people looking for opportunities all the time, and I think this is it for the IWM. And now let's take a look at Tesla here. So Tesla is down $4 pre-market, right? Is it anything to worry about? I don't think so, right? Can it come back down to the 236? Of course it can, right? It would just be a breakout and a back test of that 200-week moving average, right? Still, this is not a bearish chart. This is not a chart you want to freak out about. This is a chart you want to get excited about because it looks like it really wants to go higher. And yesterday I posted that the fib between, what was it? Let me just pull up that fib really quickly. I'll take these off. So let's pull this up from the high down down to the low here, and we'll just extend that right. Okay. So that 618 fib, 242.42 or 242.44, right? That is the log scale fib right there. It is a perfect fib level to hold, right? And I mentioned this before on the live stream that it did like activate, or it did act as a support and a resistance throughout time for a while, right? So this is why I think this has a great possibility of holding. But if it doesn't, then I think possibly it wants to go back down to that 200-week moving average. But either way, it's not even that far apart, 242 and 236. Not even that far apart though. So that is a very, very, very nice zone for accumulation because now everything is sloping up. The moving averages are sloping up. The 200-week is sloping up. Everything is looking beautiful still for Tesla. And this should be I need to get excited zone, not the panic zone. And I know retail likes to get excited or get panic when they see prices fall, but it's just falling back to a support. So this is nothing to panic at all. And let's go to Palantir. Still, Palantir is doing very well, right? It's basically looking like it's going to have 3 weekly candles close above that 786 in a row. This is kind of looking like it's building a base on a new level. And if that continues the trend, then it's going to go to $40.55 minimum. Then maybe even back to the all-time high at $45. And then after that, it's just going to keep going. Maybe 1 to 7, 55, 62, 61. It's just going to keep going, but it's not going to go in a straight line. Like at some point, it is going to reach a resistance at one of these fib levels. And when it does that, then it'll come back down and retest the previous fib level and continue higher. So that's one thing we got to pay attention to, 36.64. If it ever did lose that, then the likelihood of coming down to the 702 is there at 33.36. So this is looking really, really good for the future, whether it breaks the 786 or not. It's just the reason why I don't want to take profits because I don't want to miss out on all of these gains. I don't care if it goes down $3. I don't care at all. I think it's just a good opportunity for those that missed out if it did. But who knows if the market makers will allow that to happen. And let's see here. NVIDIA. I know people were talking about NVIDIA here too. I do have a fib there as well from the all-time high down to the low of August 5th. And it's holding support of the 50% level. So I wanted to just show this real quick because this 50% level at 115.73, this is holding for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row as well. But even before that, it was holding above it with the previous candles, except for this September 3rd candle here. So that's really the number I'm looking at here is the 115.73. And now even pre-market, it's up to 121, but it's just going up to resistance there, right? 121.63 is that next 618 Fibonacci level. So I'm not sure if it's ready to break that because you can see these past 4 candles have been above the 50, but they also have been below the 618. So this is the range, right? This is the range it's been in for the past month. So I need to see a weekly candle close, not just a wick like this, but a candle close above that 121.63. Then if that happens, okay, then the possibility to go higher will be there, but not until that happens, right? So far it's just under resistance and above support. Let's see here. Block. So block, all you need is the cloud, the Ichimoku cloud on this one. It's stuck under the baseline and it's above the bottom of the cloud, 63.20. So this is looking like it is your support zone, right? Right there, 63. So could it go down to 62.20? Sure, it could, to the conversion line, but it's looking like it's starting to try to build a base to go to a higher level. So this is a good thing for accumulation, good thing for price to cool off a little bit after this good move. And now it looks like once this base is built, it will continue higher. And you say HIMS is getting hammered, eh? Let's see, pre-market is down 16.62. Where is that pre-market? Well, what do you know? Right around my angle right there. And the conversion line, which is at 16.42. So is it getting hammered or is it just back testing a support? It's all about how you think of it, mentality, and the way I see it, this is a bullish back test, right? So for people looking to accumulate, I think right now, pre-market could be that opportunity, or a little bit lower, maybe 1640s. But this is looking fabulous right here, this angle. Look at that. We'll go back in time. Let me take this off. Yeah. So it broke through in August 23rd. Then it went down to get to this angle as support. Then up to here as resistance, resistance, breakout, flipped it to support. V bottom, had another V bottom, and it's still support. So it's a previous resistance flipped to support. So I cannot be bearish on that right now. It looks fabulous for maybe accumulation to go higher. And let's see, SOFI. So SOFI, I do have fibs there, but they don't even matter right now because it's in between. But what does matter is the Ichimoku, right? And the Ichimoku is just waiting. It's just waiting to break out, and it's just getting rejected by that resistance above. And right there, it's like 808. Then up above is like 820. So it's just in a range, right? But I think what's looking like for SOFI is it's just waiting, right? It's just waiting for price to break out. And I think it will, especially with this so-called katana right there. 727 is both the conversion and baseline. Breakout, maybe a back test is needed. I don't know. Like 727, that could be your max pain scenario. But either way, this is a bullish setup for trying to break resistance. This is what you want to see. You want to see keep pressing against the resistance and not going lower. And especially if you see these wicks, right? The candle wicks on the bottom show that buyers are stepping in, which kind of proves to me that buyers are going to eventually press up and break this resistance above and go to the $9, go to the $10, right? Above. So it's just a waiting game for this one, and it looks like it's a matter of time before it wants to break that resistance. And XRP, what's going on with it? Well, the weekly cloud is telling the story with XRP. And that is right here, right? That price is just backtesting the baseline on the weekly cloud, and that is 52.37. But even below that, well, let me go to a different chart here. Let me go to my chart. But even below that is the 100-week moving average right there. But I want you guys to realize something, that XRP was at resistance 2 weeks in a row before this news came out, right? And that's just foreshadowing, saying the charts were saying it's not ready to break out yet, even before the news came out. And all the news did is bring it right back down to support. So this is why I say the news does not matter at all. It was at resistance. It could not break it. I was looking forward to breaking it, but that doesn't mean it was going to, right? It's just got rejected by resistance. Again, my angle, my arc. And you guys want proof how accurate these arcs have been, just look out throughout time, right? Resistance here, right? Even in the very beginning, resistance here. Like this arc has been super, super massive resistance. So no wonder it did not break. And therefore, the SEC, in my opinion, it was just enough to bring it back down to support. And not only that, for the Ichimoku support, you can literally just draw a line like right here, and you can see how important that line is. Previous resistance flipped to a support, right? So far, there's nothing damaging at all with this chart. It's just people love to latch on to those narratives and think that they actually mean something, but they don't. They don't mean anything at all. Yeah, I'll take a look. The market's open now. So BABA. Yeah, so BABA, it got it back above the orange angle there, and I think it still has some room to go. It did try to backtest it, but it fell short a bit. So where is it really going to go? Well, I think it could spend a couple weeks on top of this, right? Not sure if it's going to just skyrocket to the blue angle, but I think if this angle does hold us support, then that is a possibility to go back up to the 143s, and then maybe even the next level, like 170s up there. But maybe not right away. Probably needs to build a base on top to confirm it as support first before it wants to go higher. And that level kind of sits around 105 right there. So let's just take a look at the markets now that everything's open. Yeah, so things are a little bit red this morning, right? And let's go down. Yeah, ARC is down a little bit. Palantir is still going. That is very bullish. Let's see. AMD is up. Green. NVDA is trying to break that resistance. Tesla is just down a little bit now. See, it was down pre-market, but pre-market, a lot of times, there's no liquidity. It's just dumb money. So we'll see. But that 242, in my opinion, for Tesla is a really, really, really positive zone right there. 242, 44. Yeah, that's why I loved it yesterday. That's why I loved it always, right? And if it went a little bit lower than that, I would like it even more because this chart is finally getting bullish, and people should not be afraid of a bullish looking chart. So I think, yeah, just pay attention to those levels. Miners are doing fine too. Bitcoin, it's just holding levels too. So everything is just still backtesting support after it broke out. So I think just ignore the news, follow the charts, and more importantly, follow me. All right, guys, have a good rest of today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.